Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. Right, the car today is a 2002 Toyota Yaris with the 1 liter petrol engine. I believe is the 1SZ- something, can't remember now. But anyway, is the 2002 model, and this car came to me. So let me take you a little bit through the story first. I was called to this car yesterday because it needs programming keys. By the time I got there, I've asked exactly what happened with the car. The car apparently was running fine. They went, I don't know how long after the last time he ran, to try to start the car, and the car wouldn't start. The car has been then not starting. This is now about 6 weeks, I was told. In the meantime, they had 3 different people go in there, have a look at it, and no one could start the thing. I didn't start the thing there as well, because by the time I got there, I plugged in I took the IM608 with me. At the moment, the IM608 is, I'm using the IM608 because the MS908 is charging. But I don't think I might gotta use this tool. I don't know yet what the problem is with the car, but anyway, even if I want to program keys through the OBD with the IM608, I would need a master key and then the slave keys. Anyone familiar with these cars will know roughly how it works. But I couldn't start. I couldn't do nothing with it because when I got there, the battery was completely flat, and the guy had one of these booster packs, and he put it in there. And although he gave enough juice to crank the car, I don't like those things. Those things are clicking every few seconds, and when he clicks, he kind of cuts the power very briefly, and I could see the cluster sort of blinking, yeah, and then after a few minutes, the thing just powers off completely, and then my VCI, that one, was keep rebooting because it didn't have enough power. And you know what? I've just stopped everything I was doing, and I said, look, I'm not going to do anything else. I'm going to damage my equipment. I don't want to carry on. So I said to him, if you want me to look at this, you bring it to me. Surely enough, within about 2 hours, the guy was dropping the car. And that's what we're going to be doing here today. Okay, and after all these explanations, and while the Maxi sees the IM608 finish updating, I will show you exactly what the problem is then. So the problem is, obviously you have the security light blinking, okay? And when I turn the ignition on, the light carry on blinking. Okay, so I'm going to show you on, and it carry on blinking. Okay, now this car has been heavily how to put it across, it's been heavily bodged. As you're going to see, there's no engine light, there is no ABS light, there is a few things that are not working, but the car cranks. Okay, so the car cranks, but obviously it doesn't start. We have an immobilizer light on. So the key, it's not new. You can see it's a used key. The key is quite worn on the sides, but it's one of these keys. Okay, it doesn't look to me like it is a Toyota key. I might be wrong. It looks like a third-party key to me. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah. But yesterday, the only thing I want to say is that yesterday, this key is actually reading. Because I know for a fact, I've seen in the past where these 4C transponders, they just die. And obviously the car doesn't read the transponder. This one yesterday, I plug it in onto the XP400. While I was at the car, and he reads the key ID. I don't know if the data in the key is good. That's something else we're gonna have to check later. But yeah, but the key looks like it is okay. But what I need to now to find out is if is everything good between here and the ECU. I believe there's no IMO box on this, it's just straight connection from here to the ECU. So we're gonna have to do a few checks, but before, I just wanted to give you a quick scan to show you exactly what codes we have on the ECU, and just to look at a little bit of live data, show you the keys programmed in there, etc, etc, and then we'll start digging into this a little bit further, try to see if we can get this run today. Okay, and the updates are nearly finishing. Is installing the last one. Okay, and there it is, all done. So let's gonna go quick to a scan. I should have the car on my last scans from yesterday. Yep, there it is. Turn the key on. Right, so if I go to diagnosis, control unit, if I go to my engine, I do have Immobilizer codes related, as you're going to see. So we have 2 history, 2 current, but yeah, but they are the same anyway. So it says no communication in Immobilizer system. It says current and is B2796. Okay. If I go back and I go to my Immobilizer, which as far as I'm aware, this is actually inside the ECU, is all the same stuff. B2796. No communication in Immobilizer system. Okay, so that's my if I go to live date, by the way, let me show you the live date. That's what I want to show you as well. 3 keys registered. Key discrimination, I'm not really sure what this key discrimination is. Not sure really. But yeah, there's 3 keys programmed in the engine. If I go to live data, unfortunately there is nothing related to Immobilizer system, as you're gonna quickly see. So meal status is on, there's no light, you can't really see any light. But if you, I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but if you look at them, at all these parameters or live data, you're going to see that there is nothing related to there is no live data that I can sort of relate to Immobilizer. So all the live data, there we go, so all the live data related to the Immobilizer is actually on my Immobilizer system over there. And as you have seen as well, there is only the code B2796, I think it was. And yeah, and that's where we are. So let's gonna start to do a few checks. I don't want to start to open ECUs and try to program keys, etc., without making sure first that everything is okay electrically with the car, even though no one really messed with this as far as I'm aware, other than the people that came and tried to do something with it, but they couldn't do it. But nothing has been, I checked yesterday the ECU underneath, everything looks okay. Around here everything looks in place, but you never know. But let's kind of start to dig into this. There's a few couple things I might want to do, and I'll take you through obviously. So yeah, let's kind of start. Okay, and as I've said, we would start with some basics. So the first thing I've done was check all the fuses underneath there. They all looking good. Checked all the fuses in the engine bay, all good. So the next thing I'm doing is checking everything between my antenna amplifier, which is there, or the Immobilizer and amplifier. Between here, I believe these 5 wires, they all come straight into the engine ECU. Okay, so we're gonna check every single wire. I've checked one already, which is a black and red, which is still connected in there, and it comes straight to here with a 0 ohms. Okay, So I'm gonna check every single one. So the next one is a yellow and black. Yellow and black. Will that come to here as well or no? Yeah, maybe that one. Yellow and black. Bang on. And that is a 0.4 ohms. Then we have a white and black. Will that come to this plug as well? White and black. No, it doesn't. No, there's no white and black here. Okay, so no, there's no white and black. That could change color. Against this brown, I have 1 ohm, so I'm gonna guess that's gonna be a ground. And I have a yellow wire, all yellow. There it is, all yellow. 0.4 ohms. And the last one, a blue and black. Blue and black. Boom. Okay, so from the antenna amplifier, they all come straight to here. It looks like these red, this black and red is going to be a power supply, which is going to be, is obviously connected or is merged with this wire, but looks like it is obviously merged somewhere back. And then the white wire, it doesn't come to here, but is merged with these brown ones, so I'm gonna guess they're gonna be ground. So what we're gonna do now is connect all of this and make sure we have powers and grounds over there. So yeah, there is one plug missing, but it looks like the ECU doesn't need it. Okay, so I think you can kind of see the screen there, but I'll tell you the reading. So let's gonna turn the ignition on. Okay, so I'm guess then, let me go to voltage. Come on, just hold yourself in there. There we go. So as I said, I believe this is gonna be ground, the white and black, and this is gonna be power. Boom, spot on. Quite a good guess. 13.46 volts. And then the other ones, 8 volts. The other ones I guess is going to be like, yeah, that's nothing. It's nothing. Yeah, I'm going to guess the other ones are going to be communication between obviously this little module and the engine ECU. So we have powers and grounds. The other lines are good from here to there. Well, looks like it's gonna be really something else then. Let's see what to do next. Okay, so the B2796, which is no communication in the Immobilizer system, it can mean two things. One, there is obviously no communications between the antenna amplifier and the engine ECU, or there is no communications between the key and this, and therefore nothing to the thing underneath, as far as I'm aware. I might be wrong, but the thing is, to remove the transponder on these keys, all you do is you put something really thin in that little hole and you push this plastic thing. And I want you to see what I found when I push these out. Look at the state of this transponder. But the transponder was definitely responding yesterday to the tool. So I'm going to take everything back to my workshop, and we're going to do a few tests in there. Yeah, let's gonna see what we can find out. Okay, so I'm gonna start to charge people every time I find out they lie to me, because this is absolutely ridiculous. So I think this ECU either doesn't belong to this car or has been messed with. How do I know? So in order to go back and check everything, what I want to do, or what I was thinking about, and I'm gonna do it anyway, was take the ECU out. I'm gonna take the EEPROM, read the EEPROM, and then I'm going to see if the key that I was given to, the key that belongs to this car, at least for the barrels, etc., if this key actually belongs or is programmed into this ECU. We'll have to make sure that transponder is actually transmitting, okay, because, well, he's in a poor state, but yesterday with the IM608 I could definitely see that it was recognizing the key. Anyway, so what I want to do, so when I came to take the ECU out, the first thing I've seen is that was one screw missing on each side. So this is supposed to have 2 screws, was only 1, and there's definitely the marks that was 2 in there in the past. And then I've looked at this and I found this. You see, all smashed up. So someone removed this ECU, is all bent in there. So someone has been definitely messing with this ECU. And now I don't know. Now I really don't know. Okay, and the first thing, I've opened this here. I already straightened that cover. So let's kind of remove this EEPROM. It's right here. The back is a 8mm Atmel 25020, I think it is. Anyway, let's kind of remove this EEPROM and do some work on it. Okay, just very quick. Let's kind of make sure that this key is actually reading okay, the chip. At this moment, guys, because I've seen that with ECU, I'm not really sure what's been done. So there we go, the data for my chip. I'm gonna have to turn on the computer, etc. But for the Yaris data, etc. But let's gonna read the EEPROM as well. Actually, let's try something here. Okay, what I'm gonna try is give some use to the MaxiCs, to the IM608. So before I remove the chip, I usually prefer to remove the chips, but we're gonna quickly try to. So I'm on the menu for EEPROMs, 8025020. I'm connected here like that. So I'm gonna try to see if I can read this chip. I hope the connections are good. Oh, look at that, really quick. So there is the 3 keys, 1, 2, 3 keys. Okay, so they are here. So what I'm gonna do now is save this EEPROM. I'm gonna put here at the back. I want to put Yaris, and I'm gonna put okay, that's gonna save that. So that's done. Okay. Now, what can we do now? We need to go back. So we have the data from there. Is that this? Right key via dump. 25020, so that's the one. That's the one. Okay, so looks like we are in the right place. Let's kind of load my data. That's gonna be my Yaris 2002. Used, and used. So let me see. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, and after reading the chip with the Z-Bull to check the Yaris data, it actually looks like the key is key number 3. Okay, it matched the Yaris data I got from there. And we're just gonna do a quick test. I'm going to obviously save. Let me check how I'm gonna do this. Save a picture of these 3 keys, and I'm gonna try to do something here. I put the chip in there, and I want to do make key number 1. Yes, I want to see. Okay, so 0 to right, 0 to let's save it like that. Okay, but what I want to do now, oh yes, he did, look, you see? So so basically he read my transponder and copied the data exactly in the same place. And you can see it's exactly the same data which matches key number 3. And he matched my what I've read over there. Yes, again, I will leave a link in the description below for the video I've done years ago where I explain a little bit more about the Yaris data, how you can do this, even using EEPROM if you want. But yeah, but the Maxis is the IM608 does it all. In one. So what I'm gonna do now. So it looks like the key is actually programmed. So it might not be nothing wrong with our key, but still. We programmed this key now as a key number 1. No. So what I want to do now, very quickly, is going to be writing that. So we duplicated the key. So basically, key number 1 and key number 3 are exactly the same keys. Oh, what am I doing? It's a 25, isn't it? Yeah. 25020. So what we're going to do now is we're going to write there's that one there. Okay, press OK, escape. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to plug in this ECU. If it doesn't start, then we might have an antenna problem or something along those lines. I don't like the status of this chip, but it is kind of working by the looks of it. We'll try something else just to make sure the chip is actually good, otherwise we might have to get it replaced. Just to make sure the problem is not the chip that is not obviously communicating properly. And it is communicating here because it's really, you know, it's a different way of put the chip really close to the coil. Same over there, is really close to the coil. It's actually in between the coil. So it could be that the antenna here is damaged, but I think we'll have to wait or do a little bit more checks and go from there. Okay, so the next thing I decided to do, and I know we checked the wires, but I just want to make sure there's something coming out from the actually antenna module in the ignition switch over there. So what I'm doing now is channel A is connected to the actually antenna over there by the steering column. Channel B is connected into the same wire but on the ECU. So we should have an 100% matching signal. So this is the first one. I just paused it, but as you can see, the signal matched perfectly. I'm going to cycle the ignition so you can actually see it happening live. Let me just run, and there he is. So as you can see, both signals match perfectly. Now we're going to move into the next wire, which is the yellow wire, if I'm not mistaken. He only runs for a few seconds, then he stops. And that's the yellow wire. Again, a perfect match. As you can see, let me pause. Oh. So he runs for a few seconds and then he stops. But I think it's just when you turn the ignition on, it's supposed to do the communication, get the key code, and then he stops the communication. I guess that's the way it works. I never scoped one before. As you can see, everything matches. So we're going to do the last one now, which is the blue and black, I think it is. And this is my last one. Now, should be this the signal? I'm not 100%, I hope it is. But definitely the signal that comes out from the amplifier is the same, reaching the ECU. So, at this moment, guys, will I blame the antenna amplifier? Well, the transponder broken. Well, it is reading on the IM608 and on the Z-Bull, so I don't see the reason why it wouldn't read here on a car. I even done something slightly different, which I will show you. What I've done, guys, to make sure, actually let me take the scope out now. So what I've done, just to make sure my problem wouldn't be something with the antenna on the transponder, I got the antenna out from the actually barrel. I put it here, so because when you put the key in, the transponder's got to stay like sort of here somewhere. So what I've done is I put it right in the middle of the antenna, and you can see the security light over there. And when I turn the key on, I still have the same problem, and I still have a crank no start. Okay. So right now I would blame probably the antenna, but it is a little bit of a tricky one. Could be an internal fault on ECU, but we have communications with ECU, so yeah, it is a bit of a tricky one to make a call on this. Not really sure, guys, not really sure. Okay, and finally, I believe I'm starting to get to some conclusions, and I'm going to explain you exactly why. So basically, guys, I went to this, I don't know where I got this key from, but it is a Ford key. Ford uses the same Yaris 4C transponders. This is a good transponder, as you can see. Okay, and I've done a couple tests to try to understand what the problem is. And the reason for that, guys, is because unfortunately the way this works is, if you have no communications with the antenna or no communications with the transponder, the code is going to be the no communications with Immobilizer system. Now, I was a little bit like, okay, so very difficult to make a call. Is that going to be my transponder, even though the tools can read it? But it could means, I don't know, look at the state of it. I'll try to do a close-up here. Look at the state of this transponder. It's completely gone. Look at that. There's a little bit missing on it. Okay, so could be that even though the tools can read, maybe the antenna of the tools is more powerful and could read it, but when you put it on a car, you actually can't read it. Or it could be that there is a problem with this antenna module, okay? Or it could be something inside the ECU that even though we have some sort of communications that I've shown you on the scope, it could be that inside the internal on the ECU would not allow the code to actually travel all the way through the circuitry to get to the CPU to tell, yes, the code is good, blah, 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 blah. So as soon as I found this old key, as soon as I found this old key, I thought, oh dear, now I'm going to be able to do something. So let me show you something here. So if I put, so let me put the key here. Let me put the old transponder, the broken one. So make sure it goes all the way down. Okay, key on. Now let me clear these codes. This is on the engine ECU. So it tells me no communication on history, as you can see, okay? History code, yeah. Key on. I obviously have my light blinking. I'm gonna try to start the car. Just cranks. I'm gonna read my codes again. And you have this. I'm not sure about the idle control system fault. Once we have the car running, we'll check that. But as you can see, these are the codes that come. I'm going to do it again, just to make sure. Make sure the chip is in there. It is. Key on. Let's read these codes again. And you're going to see that the only code that comes back for the Immobilizer system is the no communications, okay? There we go. Okay, now let's gonna do the following. Let's gonna take the key. It's gonna take the broken transponder off, and let's gonna put the Ford one. Okay, all the way down. Now key on. Let's clear these codes. And look at that. Look at that. That's what I like to see. We have a B2795 unmatched key code. What does this mean, guys? This means that the actual system is reading. So as you can see, the no communications fault is gone. So which means which means to me that the actually antenna there is not reading this transponder. And obviously he's reading this one that is unmatched. I don't know if I can match this transponder. We're gonna go to the workshop and give a go. Okay, so I just came back. So I did the exact same thing that I've done earlier with the broken transponder, but I did now with the good one. So I did exactly the same procedure, as you can see from this photo. Okay, so I did exactly the same. So yeah, I'm really excited. So let's kind of put the transponder on the key. Okay, key in there. So let's kind of look at the security light. Still flashing, I think it is, or no? So it's flashing. It stops flashing as soon as I put the key in. Sweet. Right guys, is it gonna start? Let's try. Was definitely tried to start, but something else is wrong. Hold on. Is it gonna go or no? It's definitely not a Immobilizer problem anymore. I'm so happy. So happy that I could program this used transponder. Let's see if it goes or not. Could this be the... Come on, nearly there. Sweet, come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah. Just a little bit more, come on. Right. I think we resolved one issue, but we do have definitely. Let me just scan the car just to show you that there is no problems. And I think the next one, oh man, so nice. It's so nice. I have a feeling that it's going to be the idler thingy. Let's gonna go to actually control unit. Let's see Immobilizer if we have any codes. Most likely we have the old codes, I guess. Yeah, good, sweet. No trouble codes. There we go. Nothing for the Immobilizer system. Yes. Right, now let's gonna see. Right, I think I can rank the guy and tell him that this bit is sorted because he was trying to search parts for me. So is this idle control system fault? But as you can see for the Immobilizer, guys, problem is gone. And I think I'm gonna stop here now and I'm gonna start a new video for this problem. Yeah, because obviously that would be extra content and would be easier for people to find if I would separate the videos from the non-start to the Immobilizer issue. However, after a few attempts, the car actually started fine. I think maybe petrol returned to the tank. I'm not sure. The car's been off for 6 or 8 weeks, 6 or 7 weeks, whatever that is. So pretty much 2 months off road without starting. So it's a little bit understandable. So anyway, after a few attempts, the car started. I already put the transponder in there, and you're gonna see that the car starts absolutely fine. There we go. And he idles fine, revs okay. And he idles okay, so there's no issues with the car anymore. And the codes for the idler control system are already gone. I would have showed you, but I'm not logged in at the moment. So but yeah, guys, it's starting fine. I'll show you again just one more time. There we go. So that's it, guys. So for this video is done. I don't know, I hope the way maybe I showed you the way to fix this, I hope it makes some sense. We're gonna obviously still have to put the ECU back in place and assemble all of this. But that's it, guys. In the end, a broken transponder that was not communicating, or it was not being read by the car, even though it was being read by the Maxi-Sys and by Z-Bull. The car itself, maybe the antenna is a little bit weaker, or the way the transponder fits here is not the same as it goes into the tools, and it was failing to read here. And really nice that I was able to program a used transponder. Obviously newer cars are completely different. We are talking about these 4C transponders. Is each system is different. This is the way it works, guys, and I just hope the way I've explained you here makes some sense. Hope you have learned something. If you do still have just one quick thing, guys, obviously what we did here using the Maxi-Sys, you guys can do it using EEPROM or any other programmer that can read the EEPROM, and with a tool that can read obviously the transponder and the Yaris data. Again, for that, guys, go on the video on the link in the description below. There is way more details onto that video that I've done years ago on a similar car, where I explain you everything about the data, where you need to write the data, etc, etc. Even though there at the time I got the car running, but it was a little bit of a trial and error, but hope it makes sense in there as well, and hope here it makes some sense as well. So with no further ado, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, hope you find useful, hope you learned something. If you guys do still have any questions or any comments, please put them below, and like always, thanks for watching.